I'm the Dino Fury Pink Ranger and the Cosmic Fury Red Ranger.
That is a heck of a morph.
And I'm like, oh wait, I don't even know if I noticed that.
Welcome to Behind the Power. Our host Rick Shick takes us down memory lane by breaking down early morphing scenes from Power Rangers, which were surprisingly much shorter.
We have really long morphs, yeah.
And to celebrate our premiere episode, the more phenomenal Hunter Deno will share some never-before-seen production footage and share stories behind her favorite scenes.
Do you want another one? And I said, just one more, just one more.
We're going to be talking about morphs today. So we're going to compare morphs that I did back in the day on the show for the Power Rangers.
Great.
For the folks like you.
Right.
And then you can talk about some of your morphs and what you did. And then we can see like what the difference is. And I can be like, oh, gee, about the effects that you guys have improved after 30 years.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
See what we got here. Alrighty, so this is Kat's morph, which she took over from Kimberly in season 2. There's layers that were made. There's a layer with the energy and the Power Ranger logo. And we had that in our archives. And when I started, there were 2 other artists that started before me. So they drew this energy over the top of Kimberly comped in there.
Okay.
And back then the decision was, let's just have arms and heads, no shirts, no bodies. I don't know why.
Oh, wait, I don't even know if I noticed that.
Right. And in the green screen of Kat, she obviously has a body. But then I'd have to roto that out separately to have just see there's her body. I'd have to separate her arms from her body and draw it frame at a time to cut that out.
Wow.
And I believe there are other morphs later on in the season when they had their full bodies.
Okay.
But the crazy part is this energy that's washing over Kimberly.
Right.
It's all hand-drawn energy. So one of the artists drew all that, and they just drew, like there's a ball of electricity that just shot out of her. They drew all that by hand, and it wasn't a separate layer that I could go back into the archives and pull off, and I'm just going to replace Kimberly with Kat, right? Get the names right. And so to get that energy and have the same thing, I had to cut it out. So I'm either keying it, trying to get a separation because it's so hot. Can I separate it from the background? And when I cut, then I just had to draw like white on top of the black to make a matte to cut it out. Oh. So it's actually Kimberly's energy that's on top of Kat.
Okay.
Was the final product, which just added an extra layer of complexity to getting this stuff done.
Wait, that's so cool. I literally didn't know that they didn't have bodies besides arms and heads.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you just like think that it's behind them.
Right, right. Their arms are pushing through.
Yeah.
But then their heads must be in front of their body, I guess.
Oh, how cool.
But yeah, I don't know why that decision was made, but that was a style. Yeah, and then married all into the push-in and putting the face there. And one of the fun sort of things is like lining up the eyes with the eyes of the mask. And who knows where her head really was.
Oh my God.
You know, but it doesn't matter because you don't see that outer part. So we're just lining up the eyes where it needs to line up. You just see what you need to see.
I find this stuff so fascinating.
In this transformation sequence, the Rangers changed their costumes from a regular kind of costume to like a sparkly material costume. Right. And it doesn't show up very well. So to enhance that transformation, there's a bunch of hand-drawn wavy energy that's going to run down their bodies that we add. Also, there's like this highlight on them. And the highlight, we actually shot toys to put over their bodies and basically get like a highlight of what, you know, where the toy is shiny.
Right.
Put that part on their body, but the toys aren't shaped like actual humans.
Right.
Like none of it lines up, right?
No.
So we'd have to cut those pieces apart and then match them to where they are in the actual Ranger. So
wait, that's crazy.
Much like this sucker being an actual toy that you could buy in the store that was used in the show, we also used toys for that sequence.
That's crazy. I mean, I get this part because obviously, but that's crazy.
And that would be a hand-drawn wavy energy. We draw it frame at a time.
So when you say hand-drawn, hand-drawn or like on a tablet?
Gotcha,
like
on a computer. So right, it would be great question.
Okay.
It's a good question of what the difference is. Because sometimes we would do cell animation where we're actually drawing on a piece of paper. Right. And then we would record that. But for this, when I'm saying hand-drawn, a lot of this is done hand-drawn in a computer. So there is a tablet that I'm using, and I'm drawing on the tablet and be looking at a screen at the same time. So what I'm drawing appears on the screen.
The tablet's not like a screen, though, right? Like it almost is just like a surface, and it transfers to it, right?
That's exactly right.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
And you have like the little like an Apple Pencil for an iPad now, but it's for the specific
specifically for the idea. A Wacom tablet is what it was called, or Wacom. I don't know how. And I'm old, so I like a big tablet. Nowadays, some artists have super teeny tiny tablets.
Right.
And I feel like I can't really get detail. If I'm drawing something that's eventually going to be on a movie screen or a TV screen,
when it's
I
so
want
small,
a big screen. Yeah.
I feel like I would be the same way.
Yeah. And then this would be the full Zeo Morph. This is a combination of Japanese and American footage.
Okay.
Feel like when I look at that energy right there, see how there's like a black edge around it? I feel like we were stealing it from the Japanese footage. And so that's why there's a black edge that we didn't quite clean up. It's not something that we drew. We've put this pink energy because she's pink.
Right.
And then all of that is hand-drawn energy. All that electricity would have been drawn one frame at a time using that rat I was telling you about. Going click, 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 click to see what we're doing and make sure our animation is flowing properly. And then because her character has a circle shape, everything is going to be an oval to match her shape. I don't know in your seasons if you guys had shapes or it was just animals or triangles or whatnot.
We just had animals, I think.
Okay. So yeah, in Zeo, each character was represented by a different shape on their helmet. So she's the only one who has the oval. Okay, yeah.
We were dinosaurs, yeah.
And then this green grid would be the Japanese footage on top of Cat, which is on top of, I believe, a Japanese footage background. So we just mix together whatever we can to make stuff work.
That's insane.
And this would probably be a full-on Japanese shot. We cut to full-on Japanese because you don't see her at all, right? So you don't need it.
Easy peasy.
And there you got to see her, and her hair is going to magically disappear as the energy goes.
That is crazy how many layers there are to that. But I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and with visual effects, everything is layers. I always think of it as layers of pieces of paper that we build up on top of each other.
Yeah.
And now with what we're able to do, we can take those layers and we can stretch them and warp them. So I tend to think of it as taffy instead. Because we can take a layer and change, we can change the angle of it. It's in the 3D space. Even if you're doing like 2-dimensional compositing, it still can exist in 3D space. So.
Wait, how long have you been doing this? Obviously.
Since before you were born.
Well, yeah, because this was before that.
Yeah. But yeah, right around, this was the first project as a visual effects artist I was hired for was Power Rangers.
Good for you.
Thanks very much. That was cool. Yeah.
It's very cool.
It's morphin' time!
And now for something completely different.
Me!
All right. Now it's your turn to talk. I'm going to sit and listen. You chat it up.
Okay, so I have a cheerleading background, and the entire season I kept telling our EP, I was like, dude, I have to do a flip in some sort. Like, I have to. And I also went to our second unit director, so for stunts, and I was like, look, if I have anything on wires, please let me do it and not my stunt double. Like, pretty please. Like, I don't care what it takes.
So
like,
cool.
I want to do it so bad. And finally, the day comes towards the end of production. So actually, main unit, like principal photography, wrapped. And I filmed this 2 days after, the day after, and then 2 days after that too. But
were you the only one there then for shooting?
Everybody else, principal wrapped. I was the only one that was still working. And it was kind of cool. I love second unit. Everybody's amazing. But I was so excited to do this. And they took me to a green screen, put me in my clothes. They were all like bigger because I had to have a harness under them. You know, they had to cut them and all that stuff. And so I did this, I don't know, maybe like 8 times or something just to get different options. And I don't know, sometimes I didn't land it properly and whatnot. And
how
then,
much time did you practice beforehand? Did you?
On the day.
Could do a flip. So on the
day, yeah.
They put you in the wires.
We didn't do much rehearsals for most of our fights and semi fights and whatnot. Usually the morning of is when we learned a lot of things. So yeah, they gave me a couple without filming, and like they were like, let's try this, let's do this. Obviously there was mats down first and all that stuff to make sure I was good. And then my double went in the suit to do it, but her flip was actually prettier than mine.
Oh, me.
So like if you see my legs one of my legs like bent.
Oh.
And then I pull it forward. She just like couldn't mimic that. Like she couldn't get her leg bent because her legs were so pretty and straight. So what they decided. But
that's like more dynamic.
For sure, it's like more me. It's
cooler.
like it doesn't make it like seem like as like fake or whatever. So what they ended up doing was they put me in a suit, and they're like, "You're just gonna have to do it because obviously she can't get it. Which honestly, my stunt double was amazing. I love her, and she literally just like did a lot better job than I did, and that's what it was. She couldn't make it as sloppy as I could.
In the shot,
Thank
though.
you.
It looks very dramatic.
And then I think, I kid you not, it was either the first or the second one in my suit. It's like the one where it matches, and so we would watch back every take to see if, like at the very top where my legs were like this, if I could get that again with the suit.
Right.
And it was the first or the second take, and they were like, Hunter, come look at how spot on. They unhooked me from the wires and everything, and we were done.
And how did you feel like I nailed it that second time, or did you not know? Was it just like, gosh, I hope this is right?
Well, I mean, I landed it, and I didn't like stumble or anything, so I don't know. I was just like, as long as it looks good on the screen, that's all that really matters.
Since it was you doing it, you're just replicating your own action naturally.
Yeah. I also have a video of our second unit director. He was like looking at it, and he was like trying to show me, and he was just like, look how perfect it matches, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's literally perfect. Because I was in shock that I like literally matched it.
That's amazing. So I don't know who did the effects, but I know that the effects artist would have been super excited to see, oh my gosh, look, she matched up in these two plates, because half the time we're cutting apart, we're making new arms, we're making new legs, we're reanimating pieces to make them match. So if you line up, whoever was doing that shot was probably like, oh man, she nailed it.
Yeah, I everything about it was just like perfect, because so when we flash morph, or when you like morph, as soon as it comes out of the like VFX, it's helmet and suit. Like you never see like the suit and then the helmet. So like if you go to the clip, you can see at the end of it, the helmet goes on, because since it was me in my suit helmetless finishing it, because us as actors don't put the helmets on.
Really?
No, they don't want us in the helmets. So
Really?
yeah, I actually don't really know the reason why.
Whoa.
I probably do. They probably told me, and I just don't remember it. But at the end, it like goes on my head, and that's just because I didn't have the helmet on doing the last part of it in my suit. And I think that's like the only time. Yeah, see, there's my
really
pigtail,
cool,
and then it goes. Yeah. So I think that's like the only time you ever see like a morph where a ranger, just for a couple seconds, doesn't have her helmet
And that's
on.
always special when there's something slightly different about the usual.
Yeah, I mean, like I feel like they didn't even have to do that much effects to match that.
Right.
Like usually it's like a bigger flash and like that kind of
the
stuff.
flash is hiding all the errors.
Right.
And look at you, no errors, no giant flash. Way to go. And I would think, if I were watching this, I would be thinking like, oh wow, that's really her, because I still see her air. Yeah. It's not all happening at the same time. And that's really totally excited. Way more fun.
I was like, we ended up finishing quicker than I thought. Like, I think we wrapped before lunch, and I was like, you don't want me to do anything else on the wires? Like, you just don't need any, like, stock footage of me
just
doing
in case.
Anything.
So when people see this sort of thing, I think they're usually thinking, oh, man, that's got to be so much fun. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
That's even better. If I could do any kind of job where I get to do my own stunts or go on wires, anything, I'll be so happy.
And I love that there's a in the green screen shot, there's a guy wearing all green.
I'm glad that you saw that.
Just cracks me up.
Yeah.
I think it's the funniest thing. It's been a long time since I've ever seen any of this, because I was just working on it. I wasn't watching it growing up. But I see that you're red.
Not gonna compliment my promotion?
And red seemed to be significant in the Power Ranger world. Why is that?
There's been 2 other female Red Rangers for like just a couple episodes. This year we lose our Red Ranger in Dino Fury. So when we come to Cosmic Fury and we get our new suits and our new powers and whatnot, the mighty Morphin grid decided that I had what it would take to be leader, like the new leader of our thing. So yeah, I'm the first female Red full season Ranger.
That is super cool. That's awesome. And I can't believe you're sitting here with us.
Oh, that's great. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, this was so exciting to do.
Was it like emotional on set when you did it the first time as the Red Ranger?
Actually, okay, so the whole scene where we get our new suits and I'm like, wait, I'm like dark pink. Let me just take my visor off. And I'm like, just kidding. I'm red. It wasn't supposed to be filmed on the day that it was filmed, but we had an extra hour, and Rangers, we don't waste time. They'll always give us a new scene to film if we can. So they were like, we're going to do that. We're just going to do your angle in the next hour. We're going to get you in your suits. We're going to get you everyone's hair situated, you know, and then we're only going to have time. If we can do another angle or whatever, we'll just get yours for now. And I'm like, well, I've just been working for like 12 hours and you're rushing me to do like the most monumental scene of my character for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And we did it in one take. And I was like, well, wait, don't do that. Can I see that? So we got in and we did another one and he yells cut and he goes, do you want another one? And I said, just one more.
Well, that's
I did
great
it.
that they really listened to you.
Right, they did. And I did it.
Even just one.
Right, I got to do 3, right? And I did it. And, you know, later the next block, the AD came up to me and was like, you were right to ask for it. We went with the last take.
Awesome.
So.
Yeah, so you're vindicated there too.
Speak up for yourself.
That's incredible. That's great. That's very, very cool. Yeah, especially in a process like that where it's all about the speed. That is incredible. And that is a heck of a morph. Our morphs were layered, but man, you guys have way more layers and way more cuts. Yeah. So it definitely expanded with
I know.
the years.
I think I just like, it went over my head and I completely forgot. But like when we had David Yost, Billy Cranston in our 3rd season and he would do morph, we would do our whole thing and at the end he'd be, ha! I'm just like, dang. What I would do, because in the beginning we had such a hard time with our morphers and it just took forever to do morphs.
That was incredible. That was super cool. It was great to hang out with you today. Love doing this. Love seeing the before and after. Totally fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for spending the time. Now, if I can find my phone and you can get me that swiping thing, we'll be all set.
Oh my gosh, let's find it.
All right. Thanks for joining Behind the Power today. We'll see you guys later.